Good morning, and welcome to Yerevan. So I'm here for 2 or 3 days. Slightly oddball destination, it's not a mountain somewhere, but the other half was here for a sort of work-related thing, so I thought I'd pop along and have a look around. So I have just walked all the way up this massive staircase, known as the Cascades, or Cascade. I definitely walked up it, honest. Not even out of breath or anything. Anyway, I'm at the top. So on the way past, I took a couple of snaps of the Opera House. So I'm going to have a poke around up here. I think there's a sort of city viewpoint up there with a crusty old fairground and massive statue in a rather communist sort of style. So go and grab a picture or two of that, hunt out some coffee, and then see what else I can find. It's very hot. You can possibly also, I doubt it, over there somewhere is Mount Ararat, which you can't really see, but I can see the snowy bit on the top of it poking above the haze. So it'll be interesting to see how much of that I can pick out when I get back home. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. Right, I'm now in Victory Park up on the top of the hill above the city, and I think if I walk along here there is what used to be a cafe with a nice view, but I think it's now pretty derelict, so hopefully there might be lots of concrete and graffiti for a bit of urbex. If I keep going round, I think there's a sort of big memorial to something, which I'll tell you when I get there, with a tank by it. And then an old fairground. I could do with finding a drink. Like I said earlier, it was a bit hot, so I'm a bit parched now. I didn't bring a bottle of water with me, which was kind of dumb. Anyway, right, to see if I can find this little cafe remnant. Right, I found the cafe, although from this side it's a bit boarded up, as you can possibly see. But the grills across the windows do still look quite cool, along with the sort of greeny colour of the paintwork and the rust. So I'm going to grab a few shots here and then walk around the side. I've also brought the film camera with me, with a Lomography Metropolis film in it. So I'm going to grab a few snaps with that as well, see how they come out. Well, it turns out you could actually get in here. The doorway's still open, so as expected, it's in a bit of a state. Lots of graffiti, lots of crap on the floor. There's a few cool things to photograph there. Little old bench in there. And I guess this would have been a nice terrace with a view out over the city. You can see the Opera House down there in the distance. Right, grab a few more pictures. It's the next building along. I don't think I can get in, but it's a bit more impressive. It's not so run down on the outside. It's kind of cool arches, and the graffiti in here is actually pretty cool as well. Spin you around. I'm guessing that over this way, when this was still a cafe, I guess all the tables would have been sat under these shelters. Now, a little sign on the outside, so it was the Aragil, or Aragil, I don't know how you pronounce it, restaurant by an honoured architect, no less. It's preserved and restored, but well, it hasn't fallen down, I guess. I'm thinking if this was the restaurant, the first building I looked around that was a bit more derelict must have been something else, but I'm not quite sure what. Anyway, there's another little derelict building there, with the Ferris wheel up behind it, which may make a decent photo. Now, behold, massive statue. And also, down on the ground here, I don't know how well you can see it, there's actually a flame burning away in that little star in the centre there. And you can possibly see around the edge, I knew there was tanks from a picture on Google Street View, but there also seems to be a fighter plane of some sort. So I'll get a picture here with the flame in the foreground and then go and have a look at the military gubbins. Right, so the massive statue is Mother Armenia, apparently sculpted by somebody called Haratunian in 1967. This theme park is weird. So it looks for a minute from a distance like it's derelict because there's no people. But when you get in here, everything's actually quite shiny and new. And then you look a bit closer and all the little kiosks for all the rides have actually got a person sat in them. So I think it's open. But there's just no one here. Which is quite odd and unnerving. I thought I might have a little go on the teacups myself, but I'm probably too tall. I've spotted my first Armenian cat. It's vocal. I thought I'd acquired a new cat then, it wouldn't leave me when I wandered off. Anyway, that's probably the park explored for now. So I think what I'm going to do is head back down the hill to the city centre and find some more stuff to check out. I also grabbed a snap of some old car driving past, which looked pretty cool. I've seen quite a few, so I might try and get a selection of images of old cars to stick in the video for you. So you might know I'm a bit of a fan of a underground railway, so I thought I'd come and check out the subway. Main benefit is that it's got air conditioning. It's lovely down here. You have to buy a little plastic token, which seems to cost about 15p. And I upset the lady by giving her the equivalent of a £20 note because it's all the cash point gave me. But as you can see, simple in design, but kind of works. So I've just grabbed a couple of images on the way down with the wide-angle lens. There was some nice artwork at the point that I walked in. So I'm going to go down probably 2 or 3 stops and then head back up again and hop off probably at Republic Square, which is near my hotel, and find a spot at lunch. Right, well, since I last spoke to you, I went on a nap. It's still really hot though, and it's gone 6 PM. It's about 36 degrees, I think. So behind me is the sort of main cathedral of the city, the name of which I've forgotten, as usual. So I just had a little wander around there and poked my head inside. And yeah, pretty grand space. So grabbed a couple of shots there. I'm probably going to head back now, find something to eat, because it's getting on for that time of the day. So I'm not sure what I'm going to look at tomorrow. Hopefully something interesting. So I shall see you tomorrow. So this morning, had a quick look at an old church and a market, grabbed some lunch, which is all nice, and I'm now taking a GG, which is a bit like an Uber, up to the top of the hill to the west of town, to have a look at the Genocide Memorial. So the Armenian Genocide, I think, was around World War One, and oddly there's still quite a few countries that sort of deny it ever happened, which seems kind of odd, but I guess depending on where you're from you may have opinions either way. So yeah, I shall have a little walk around here, and then I believe there is a sports stadium nearby that's got some sort of interesting communist style architecture, so I shall wander over to that and grab a few photos there as well. But yeah, for now, we'll take a little look around this memorial. Right, that's the memorial visited. So I'm moving on now to a sort of sports and concert venue, which was built in 1983. So hopefully it's, of a time, architecturally wise. And apparently the current name of it, which I won't try and pronounce, and I might put up on the screen, is named in honour of someone who was assassinated here in '99. So that's chirpy. Anywho, Wikipedia also says this is operated by the Ministry of Defence, which seems an odd choice for a sports venue. But anyway, I'm just plodding along this little tree-lined avenue. I think I can dive through into a sort of open space to start getting some snaps. So apparently the design is meant to represent a bird unfolding its wings. Kind of looks like a big helmet to me, but what do you think? So I've moved my way around one of the sides now, and I don't know, kind of get slightly Sydney Opera House vibes from this, if you know what I mean. Maybe that makes no sense whatsoever. I've now walked around to the opposite side of where I started, and yeah, it's moderately imposing, I would say. I think there's a sort of mini version of the Cascade in the centre of the city here as well. Although, similar to at the Cascade, it appears that the fountains are all sort of off, which is kind of odd. I don't know when they turn them on. Right, oh, I'm very bright, I don't know why. So, that's the sport complex done. I'm now waiting for my GG to take me back into the city. Right, I went for a few more photos around Republic Square after getting back down from the hill. It's very hot still, but I've had coffee, so that's good. So I'm going to head back to the hotel now for a little rest. Tomorrow we are taking a trip out into the mountains, so look forward to that. I think there's mountains, lakes, monasteries and all sorts of other fun things, so yeah, see you tomorrow.
Աշխարհի ամենահին քաղաքներից մեկը եւ այս տարի մենք տոնակնքում ենք Երևանի 2805 տարեկան. This is the Aragat mountain and now we are going near that lake and Armenians they buried his body on the top of the mountain Ara. That's why it's